Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxtier, on the show this evening is the one and only Bridgeman and my mucker Southside. Evening, boys.
Evening, Ox. Good to be on with a legend again, Bridgeman. Give a shout out to all the trips on the YouTube feed. Say hello to them tonight. They're usually on following the show. And good evening to everybody else listening out there.
Evening, Bridge.
Oh, evening, Ox there now. And of course, big shout out to my mucker there, Southside. He's going to follow us through, and the get techie guy in the background. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How we doing, Southside?
Aye, all right, mate. It takes 48 hours later. It's a wee bit easier, but still sorting, but it gets easier, doesn't it?
Aye, it's the hope it kills you. It's the hope it kills you. How's the Bridge back on the solid yet? How's Mrs. Bridge? She's had a lot to put up with the last 2 days.
Yeah, she's you're bloody right there, I'll tell you. That was I don't know what was going on.
In fact, if I'm honest, she's had a lot to put up with the last few decades. No, I mean, but
yeah, exactly. We'll not say too much about that, but it's no, it was really and truly. It was fascinating to see. It looked as if we turned the clock back something like 5 years, to be honest, where I would have suggested something like 90% possession of the ball, and they still get down and got 2 chances and scored. And I can't believe that. I just can't. By the way, not 2 crap goals, 2 really good goals. That boy's rattled that ball in. Brilliant. So I just, and what was it, 15 minutes to the end or 10 minutes to the end before we woke up, started getting in there. Wow, quite incredible.
Yeah, it was frustrating, Southside. You know, we didn't play well, mate.
It's another 2 points strapped on the road. And listen, it is what it is. You just need to take it and move on. We can sit, greet, moan, and everything else about it. The job that's done. We should have went there and got the result, and we didn't. Some parts of the play weren't very good, a bit slow and cumbersome, and other parts of goalie was having one of the games during the first and second half. Created a lot of chances and attempts on goal. Thought Chimiti missed an absolute. Thought he should have lifted the ball. He was 6 yards out. There's a wee stramash. The ball was bobbling about in the 6-yard box. It finished white him, and I know he hit the target and it got blocked, but he should have lifted the ball up high in the roof of the net and it was a goal. That was the one thing that really annoyed me about him. I thought, use your common sense. The gaps at the top of the net, just lift the ball up slightly and it's a goal. But aye, we battered them on play, but at the end of the day, we let them score 2 goals and we could only bring 2 back. And it's another 2 drop points, and obviously it's frustrating when you think Hibs, Motherwell and now Livingston of recent times were games where we'd be 6 points better off, but we're still in the mix, and I've heard a lot of nonsense getting spoken. I've heard a lot of
nothing done yet.
No. Listen, there's 4 points, and listen, they beat them in Sunday. It puts them out the race, and it's a 2-horse race to the end basically, and that's the way it'll be. So that's all we need to concentrate on. It's disappointing. We should have made sure that we got the 3 points against Livingston. But listen, we didn't. Their goalie did one of the games and we dropped the stupid points. But we're still in this by a long shot. And some of the nonsense I've seen, read and heard is unbelievable. But it's everybody's opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I get the rawness after the game, mate. I get the rawness. I mean, we've all done shows on here. You know, you go to the vast majority of the games, mate. But if you think back, I'm just going to mention a couple of games to you, and I wonder if they're fresh in your mind. Dundee United and Malmo. ring a bell?
Aye.
Right, and how difficult it is, and how raw it is after a bad result. We understand it. We're emotional, and you say things, and it's like being back in the pub after the game, and you think X, Y, and Z, and then you look at it in the cold light of day. It's not necessarily as bad as you think, Bridgeman, is it?
No, obviously. Look, we got a point. Went away from home, absolutely cracking pitch, as we all know. We all love to play on that pitch. My God, it's dreadful. And the weather wasn't great. Wasn't great for us at all. The wind was swirly, you know. But they're the two levelers in the game, you know. The weather and the pitch. They're great levelers. And my God, did they level us down? I'll tell you. We were dreadful. I have to say, you two guys know, having played football and everything, I've never seen so many poor passes in a single game of football.
We were dreadful, Bridge.
Eh?
Dreadful passes.
Just
We were dreadful.
poor.
Yeah, we were dreadful at times. And obviously there was some good play. You don't dominate a game like that. And if we'd have kept a clean sheet, you'd have said, oh, a nice 2-0 victory. But we didn't. You know, but our passing was poor. And we were lethargic at the start, Southside. I don't know what you think.
Aye, it was a slow start. It wasn't good enough. And we get punished with their first sort of shot on goal. With a free kick into your box. I'll say it. When we built that squad at the start of the season, that squad, but when you looked at it, probably wasn't. It wasn't good enough to fight in all fronts that we were going into. We were going into Europe. We were going playing 2 cup competitions in the league. And when you actually look at the squad, the depth of it, and it wasn't built. It's no for what we've watched in the past. Sort of squads that you know you need. You need leaders. You need to be able to grind these results out when you're struggling in games. You need to make sure that you get the 3 points after a European game and all that when you've come back. And in Europe, we got absolutely battered all over the place, to be honest, with teams that should never have been anywhere near us at times in the past, for squads that were built. And Danny Rose came in, and I don't care what anybody says, he's turned this about unbelievably for what he's had to work with. And we added 4 players in the January transfer window where we had to add, and 1 or 2 have been better than the other, 1 or 2 at the moment in the team. But we're strengthening the squad, and the squad still needs strengthened. And that squad that we've got now, and the way it is, in my eyes, still probably isn't good enough to go and see the course. But they can do it. The problem is we can still win this league. But that squad that we're watching, the players, some of them will need to get the door in the summer because they're just not good enough. And as you say, some of the passing for some of these players is shocking. Basics, and some of them are struggling. But the squad needs still to be strengthened in the summer. And it's testament that Danny Rose got us into this position. And it's the players. I'll put on record, Danny Rose, I thought, was at fault at the Motherwell game. I don't think he should have made the 3 substitutions when he did towards the end of the game. And Motherwell scored. 2 minutes after it, they scored. I don't think he should have made the 3 subs at the time. If he was going to do it, he should have done it earlier in the game. But no, at that time, and I hold him responsible for that. That's it. Apart from that, the rest of the games we've dropped 2 points, it's down to that squad of players. They've turned up, they've showed lack of whatever, motivation, lack of whatever. The passing's been poor, they've no ran enough, they've no wanted it enough. We've been out fought at Motherwell with a Motherwell team that basically muscled us all over the park. We couldn't even string 3-4 passes together at Motherwell at times against them. So it's down to the players. It's not down to Danny Rowe, but I think he was responsible probably, in my eyes, for what we dropped at Motherwell, because I think the subs affected what happened towards the end of the game. But apart from that, the Hibs away, the players never turned up. They never put the work ethic in, and they didn't get the result. Again, on Sunday, probably couldn't fault them towards the second half display. I mean, we battered them, the goalie had thing. It wasn't like we didn't create chances. But this squad still isn't good enough. Wasn't been good enough at the start of the season to win a league title. But we can win a league title with this squad. That's the thing. But they've been inconsistent. And we've no got players that we can rely on and say, well, he's going to be a 9 out of 10 every week. He'll be a 9 out of 10. He'll make sure we get the job done. Players are inconsistent all over the park at times. And that's leading to certain results. But we can still win this league, Ox. That is a fact. Whether they're good enough or no at the moment, they can get it over the line if we can just... We've only beat twice with Hearts this season. That's it. And Hearts are top of that league. So it's frustrating and it's annoying. But listen, we're still well in this to win this league, Ox. Well in it.
Aye, without a doubt, mate. Even the arithmetic tells you that. I mean, I'm a bit stupid. I don't want to look too far ahead, Bridgeman. Robert will be coming looking for me, and I think, he might chip me. You know what he's like, But, look, for me, in my mind, mate, we're 1 point behind because I've got his beating Hearts, and that's just the way I'm up. So we've got to find, we've got to look for somebody else to do us a favour. And no many teams will win in 9 out of 10, mate. So we'll see where it takes us. But we have to start winning, and we have to win on Sunday, and we have to sort of the away form. Because the last 3 away performances with the 4-2-3-1, Southside can chip in after Newbridge, it ain't worked. It ain't worked.
No, it's not worked at all. Truth be told. And obviously, I don't know whether they're doing it on the park when they're training and things like that, and it looks good. Another thing is, I noticed they did. I've noticed it a couple of times actually. They went zonal for the first free kick that they got and scored from. And I'm thinking, there's the biggest player on the park, build-wise, and is tall, nearly as tall as our centre-halves. Where's our centre-half? Should be right beside him and jostling for the ball, nowhere near him. And a guy just takes 2 steps and smashes the ball straight into the net. That's not right.
Mikey Moore was picking them up, mate.
But there you go. What does that tell you?
Aye, rang me.
You need to be realistic about the game. The game we're getting shown how Rangers are playing. Some games they get bullied. A lot of the times they actually run away for the guy to get started going back. But the truth is, they've not done anything. The opposition teams consistently do this. They move up the park in 40 yards at a time through passing, multiple passes, and before you know it, they're inside our box and they're threatening our centre halves. Because why? Inside our half rather and threatening the centre halves. Because why? Nobody put a tackle in. Nobody attempted to go for the ball.
So I
nothing.
thought Suter had a poor game. I know you're not his biggest fan.
Oh dear. I don't want to. Don't start me on it, please. A sin, It's a sin for Rangers. It's a sin for Rangers.
Southside.
Aye. We've been doing zonal marking at times, Bridge, as you're saying, throughout the season. And we've not been marking men, and it's cost us goals. And we went a wee run where we were keeping clean sheets. 2 sloppy goals. How the boy was free when the ball get played inside our box, and he hits it across the goalkeeper for their second goal. The boy Smith. Listen, it was a good finish for the boy. He's drilled it, but he shouldn't be getting that amount of space in our box when we've managed to try. We never really headed the ball out the box that far either, which was pretty poor. But listen, we showed the resilience and we fought back and we got there in the end, and we could have probably had a bit more, a bit of luck. But we shouldn't have been going to Livingston and dropping the points, but we have. And that's just a disappointing aspect, and that's where the frustration comes in for I think a lot of the support. Myself and everybody on here and everybody out there, we get frustrated because we could be in a lot better position if we were a bit more consistent with the away games. And we've rode the luck a couple of times, but at the end of the day, I don't care if we ride the luck, as long as we come out the other end with the points. That's what matters. Can he dominate every game? This squad isn't good enough to dominate every single game that we play in at the moment. This squad probably will. Some of these players will be told to leave in the summer, and we'll have to add more players to the squad to make them better. Whether even Scove Olsen stays at the start of next season, we take up the buy option to buy, I've got no idea. But on recent form,
Would you buy him?
No,
I
wouldn't. But that's not to say that he is a good player. He's at the right age. He does need a lot more game time. But at the moment, no, he's not looking like a £10 million player. But it's not to say that given time that he could become. He would be a good addition to the squad. But at the moment, he's the one out the four that we've signed that I think isn't shown enough. But he hadn't played much football since November time. But that's about the only excuse you can give him. Out the four players that we signed, he was the known name. Look them all. And I know we tried to get him a good while ago when Giovanni was the manager. And the boy is talented, but at the moment, he's not shown enough Ox in a blue jersey.
I still like the left back. I gave him man of the match for us. Well, I don't think we had anybody that was outstanding, but I thought he was the best player we had on the park, and that was a 6 out of 10. Man, just me, mate. Everybody sees the game different. No, Scott Wilson, hopefully he becomes a difference maker. But at this moment in time, I don't think I know anybody that would sign him. But he could still turn into a hero. It was a funny old game, Bridge.
Yeah, I have to agree with you with the fullback. I thought he was very good, and I thought the other fullback was rotten. So I'm equalising it up as far as the defenders are concerned. I just think we're just poor. We're just poor. We don't hold our concentration very well when we're under pressure. Why should we be under pressure against a team like Livingston? Why? There's nobody can answer that question. The only people that can answer it is the people that are playing on the pitch, and they don't say nothing. They just say, "Oh well, you don't have to do this next time." Sorry, you're too late. So before this season goes much further, they need to get a grip of themselves and realise what they're playing for. They've got a possible championship medal coming up here. If they screw their nut, start playing football the way they can play football, because it's not as if we haven't seen them playing football. They can play football. They're a nice team, and there's some guys in the team are really, really good. That wee boy Gazama, I love it, my bits, by the way. Hardly kicked the ball.
I don't think he's been great away from home all season, if we're honest. Mesty's good work's been at Ibrox, Mesty's good work. I don't know if some of the parts are maybe too tight for him. I didn't like what we done to him on Sunday. I thought he wasn't great in the first half, but he at least went by the guy a couple of times on the touchline, caused a wee bit. As soon as we move to the right, for whatever reason, south side, he just doesn't look interested. That's the feeling you get.
He's been played on the right quite a bit when Tav's been on the right back position. It's as if he's got to do a bit of running and cover for Tav, I think. And he's not very good at it at times. There's a lot of games where he's no, but it seems to be when Tav goes in at right back, he would normally be the player. If you look back at team selections, and you'll see when Tav went into right back, Samara has been on the right-hand side. Motherwell was the last one I remember of recent times here. I know Scott Wilson was there, then we move him again, and Tav's still in the park. So it seems to be when Tav came into the team, he would more likely go on the right. And if you look at more or less of the fixtures the way they've been, that's what's been happening. But listen, he got the man sent off. He made a good run. It was a good pass, but he's not contributing enough.
Who made the pass?
Fernandez, wasn't it?
Oh, you're a fan of his?
Aye, Fernandez, aye, man's a legend.
For more than his football on the park, of course.
Used to pack it in.
You get the tattoo, Mickey?
I don't know. I'll see how long it goes first. You know.
I just couldn't keep a secret.
Aye, just you keep a secret. But listen, he's not doing enough against Amara. He's no, for whatever reason, I don't know. He's young. He might be inconsistent. Listen, all wingers are inconsistent. The only one that wasn't was Brian Laudrup till his last year at Rangers, and he never hardly kicked a ball when he was wanting to go to Chelsea. Wingers blow hot and cold, but I think maybe impact player for him. Maybe for us, probably going forward at times would probably be better. But where we are at the moment, we need everybody to be contributing. And obviously, we carried a passenger in the first half, or one or two passengers in the first half on Sunday again. Scott Wilson, I would say, carrying as a passenger. And he get whipped. He get whipped at half time. So, listen, that's the problem. We're not getting 11 players firing at the one time. for whatever reason, I don't know, they know what's in front of them. They can see there's 10 games to go in this league and they could all become heroes. So I don't know what the problem is. Raskin probably has to do more and all. His passing's been abysmal and all.
I thought he was poor on Sunday. I thought he had a poor game, mate.
Well, everybody has him up there on a pedestal, and Raskin's this, Raskin's that, but Raskin's good at certain things, but he's poor at a lot of other things. But listen, Danny Rowe, give him credit. He flung all the strikers on. He might have took one off and that, but he didn't. He had them all, and he took a midfielder off, he took a centre back off, and he got his a point. At the end of the day, he became away with a point. He had to change it, and he went that way. There's a lot of managers we've had in the past probably wouldn't have done that, but he done it because we were struggling, and we had to get the goals back. And the team eventually battled.
Aye. We got the equaliser. I thought we'd have got the winner. I genuinely did.
It looked like the momentum was going that way, Ox. And then obviously you get the calamity of the referee can't make a decision and doesn't make a decision. Can't even see that it's a foul. Whether it's on the edge of the box, just carrying into the box as he carries in, or whatever. I agree the contact was right outside the box, just outside the box. Then his other leg obviously drags him down as well in the box or on the line of the box, whatever you want to call it. But for the fact that referee couldn't make a decision, I've not seen it, but Albert said to me, I think he said you could lip read him when he says waiting in VAR making a decision or words to that effect. Because he's obviously just relying on that when he should be making a decision on the park. He's a referee.
Whether it's in the box, out the box, you think it's a penalty or no, what it definitely was, Bridge, is a foul.
I think anybody that's seen the reruns can see it's a foul, except some of the haters, that consistently don't give Rangers any credence at all for any of these things. But for me, that was a penalty and a red card, 100%. I wouldn't have. I mean, if I made the tackle, I would say that was me done it. I done it. No problem. That's how bad it was for me. I don't know what technically they're looking at, guys. I mean, maybe you can explain it. What is it they're looking for? The guy comes in from behind and kicks a guy on the calf height and kicks a guy. And that then causes a wee problem with his other leg when he goes to take a shot. And next thing he's on the ground and the guy his leg wrapped around him. And you wonder, how did that happen? Oh, well, it must have been a wee mistake by the referee not to have noticed it. Sorry, it was deliberate. It's cheating. He didn't want to give Rangers a penalty kick and didn't want to give Rangers a free kick or send a man off. That was all there. All the three big strict things like that was there. The referee bottled it. And the VAR bottled it, and everybody else bottled it. I think I said it in the forum the other week. It reminds me of the time we were playing them. I think it was at Hampden, actually, we were playing them. And that wee guy Johnson, their right back, punched the ball out inside the box, punched the ball away.
That was a park keeper.
The park keeper, yeah. So he punched it out the park, and you're going, right, okay, so what's the decision? Well, is it? Can we see getting punched? Yes. Is it a Celtic jersey? Is a hand on a Celtic jersey arm? Aye. So a Celtic player punched it out the park, and it went, not even a corner. Forget it was inside the box. It would have been a corner or a free kick. No. We'll get offside. But when you're playing the offside, it's a goal kick. Goalkeeper takes a goal kick. Come on, that was the exact same. It was the exact same at the weekend there. Exact same. Nobody knew what it were doing, and all of a sudden, it's a play on. The Rangers get possession in their own half. Sorry.
I'm up for debate whether it's a penalty kick or no, man. I said it last night. My initial thoughts it was a foul outside the box. Then I see it again. I think the other angle, and I think, oh, that's a stone wall. I'm up for debate whether a penalty kick. And we can talk about that and the semantics of that, the rights and wrong that we did last night. But what I will say, all day long, it's a foul, and he's missed a foul. And then if it's a foul and it is inside the box and you think that is, it's then a penalty kick right in front of him. And it wasn't the worst assist at the weekend outside of the Scottish Premier League, was it? But it was a badging.
No. Oh, it's poor. It's borderline embarrassing. That's what it is. And the fact that he never made a decision at all. And I know he's been sort of had a few games this year and I think he'd 1 or 2 games last year, and they're probably trying to bring him through. He's on the FIFA list and whatever. But you've got to make a decision, and the only thing I can think is he thinks that Livingston player then obviously made contact with the ball, and no Mikey Moore. And he's the only person that thinks that or thought that, unless he's just no one to give a decision. I don't know what was in his head, but I just think it was disgusting that he didn't go for a foul, because everybody could see that it was a stonewall foul. You can debate in the box, edge of the box, whatever, but it was a foul. And then you can decide for there, should he be getting sent off, should he know, whatever. But everybody knows that it was a foul. Clearly, he took Mikey Moore out. And only in his head. It'll be interesting, because Wally Collum will dress it up, no doubt, at the VAR review. And I think what they'll say is he didn't make a decision. This is what I think they'll do. They'll say he never made a decision, so then VAR can't get involved because that be re-reffing the game. So therefore, that's why there was nothing given, and the ball get dropped to the goalkeeper. If he blows for a foul and says either penalty or whatever, or outside the box, then VAR can look at it. But because he didn't blow the whistle and give a foul at all, I think the way it works is they'll say, he'll come out and say in March that they can't get involved in. And this is what he'll say, no doubt. And this is, and it'll be the usual, well, we'll learn for it, and he'll learn for it, and all the rest of the nonsense that they come out with. But that's a fact, and that's what I think you'll say.
But how can that possibly be, Southset? How can it possibly be? The referee sees it, he doesn't give it. That, in my opinion, has happened. He sees it, doesn't give it. And all of a sudden, the ball's been booted up into the Rangers half. And wait a minute, was that not a penalty? Yes, all the Rangers fans in the world are shouting that's a penalty. In fact, all the non-haters are shouting that's a definite penalty. Where are they getting it from? Where are they getting it from that there was no touch? There wasn't a kick. There was that player came in from behind, no intentions of getting the ball. He was taking his legs one way or the other. He was taking his legs, and he did it. That's what happened. And I'm hoping, believe me, in my heart, I'm hoping that Rangers have got a big complaint all written up, ready to drop into the SFA's letterbox, because that's a disgrace. And every single time these decisions come up, they always go against Rangers. Always go against Rangers.
I think you've seen at the weekend, mate, that ain't true. Just the whole standard of refereeing is appalling. And VAR
Absolutely.
is actually when everybody who was involved in the game, fans, players, maybe management, everybody thought it was going to improve decision making. It's killed the emotion in the game, and decision making's got worse outside. And Bridge, trust me, if you take a bit of time to look, you'll see howlers all over Scottish football, howlers all over EPL as well, mate. The standard of refereeing is falling where he had a VAR. Southside.
Oh, the one at St Mirren, Slattery, that boy Slattery just fell down holding his face. It's a Mirren player, they've appealed it and they'll win it, because how they send that boy off.
I've won it.
Have they?
The appeal went through.
No winner, because it's atrocious, and that's the standard of refereeing, and he's obviously had a chance to look at the monitor or whatever, I would have imagined, or if he didn't, maybe VAR to say send him off. I don't know, but that was atrocious. But so let's not be kidded. We're getting absolutely hounded here with decisions against us. Way VAR, right? So see, think about how we used to say it was before VAR, and I thought when VAR came in, I thought, well, do you know what? We'll maybe get fairer decisions now, because we knew some of the refs were at the start, before even VAR came in, or the time that we've all followed and watched Glasgow Rangers Football Club. But if VAR's in, and they're still blatantly doing it. But if you take VAR away, it'll get worse. It'll be back to where it used to be, because they'll just get away with absolute murder. So I thought it helped to a point, and I just want fair decisions and consistent decisions. I'm not wanting to help us out and think, oh, well, we'll win the league because we'll get all the decisions. But we're certainly been on the end of a lot of wrong decisions. But then so is other teams when you look at the weekend. So we know what happens. They're just absolutely abysmal, referees, and they're giving them repeat jobs, and then they're giving them jobs in the VAR room. and then they're putting them back on the park, and then they're giving them jobs back in the VAR room again. So if they're incompetent on the park, they're going to be incompetent in a VAR room. And it's ludicrous to keep trotting out the same people. I mean, you look at it, we've got Clancy and McLean on VAR. Look at McLean's performance the other night. Look at McLean. He couldn't even send a Motherwell player off for the tackle on Mikey Moore at Fir Park. Everybody in that stadium knew it was a red card. Everybody. And probably everybody that watched it on the tail, I think it was live on Sky or something. Everybody seen it was a red card, bar him. And he's on VAR on Sunday, along with Clancy. And we've seen the state of Clancy for how long? You know? So it's just borders on embarrassing. You know, and Wally Collin will come out with the usual tripe and come out and cover their arses and everything else at the day and double down on Walsh, you know, another one that's hopeless. No, and even when we win, I've still criticised referees because they're bordering on embarrassment. And something's got to give, and clubs are paying $100 grand a game for these clowns to just do what they want. Even when you get to semi-finals and finals and everything else, you still can't even get the right decision, or he's made out than he's in and all that. It's atrocious, mate. It's absolutely atrocious. But that's what we've got. We've got the comedy club up here. No, as refereeing goes. And they're just totally inept at their job. And some of them are probably just at it. Even refereeing, know what to do this or know what to give you a decision that they know they can give because they clearly see it, but they choose not to see it. So they choose not to give it. Oh, it's shocking, mate. Honestly, it's shocking.
I have to agree with that. Pal. Shocking, right enough.
All right, we better get the phone lines on. By the way, I don't want that decision, and it was a bad decision. It was a foul, and then I'm up for debate whether it's a penalty kick, right? I don't want a decision to take away how bad we were, particularly in that first half, how pedestrian we were. And we still had a couple of chances, as you said. Romans was unlucky and Dimitri scored, but we were just pedestrian, lethargic. And if we'd up to tempo, mate, we could have again finished at half time. But we never, I don't know why. Don't know why, if the part was in my head or I think the time at Albert saying don't think ahead too much, then the next game's the most important. You know, I don't know. I've not got the answer, Bridge, but that was my frustrations. Yeah, I was annoyed with not getting the foul at the end and some of the decisions were poor. I was annoyed with John Suter for his decision making during the game. I was annoyed with Tavernier and Raskin's passing. I was annoyed with Gassama in the second half. You know, there was a lot to be annoyed with, you know. But you win and lose as a team. And I was also, when I thought about it, maybe the day when I'm back on the solids and I'm no dehydrated, Bridge, I think, right, okay, they got their teeth together after the sending off and really pounded that team and showed a desire. Yeah, we should have won the game and we never, and that's the frustration. But on all the negatives, there's one slight positive. They showed a bit of desire. You know, but look, we need to do better away from home. Bridgeman, before we open the phone lines.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's really difficult. It's difficult for me to criticise our team, and I know I do it because I think it's my right to put some critique on it. But I don't like doing it. I don't like to criticise them. But I know there are better players than the way they show. So it takes them most of the game to actually get their arse into gear, excuse the language, to do something and start to play football. And you look how good that was going forward. It was brilliant. But don't stand at halfway line, pass the ball across. Go forward, and press. And if you press hard enough and long enough, you're going to get through, which we did. 2 absolutely brilliant goals. I thought Big Fernandez, what a goal that was. And what do you call him? Mickey Moore. Oh my goodness. No, they were great goals. Why couldn't we continue doing that? We got to the part where they've no loss. I think they get in their head. We haven't lost, so we're all right now, you know. That's what I think. Very, very, oh dear. I can't say too much.
Better get the phone lines open, Southside, yes?
Yes, sure there'll be plenty to talk about. Come in and join us. Platform for all the Rangers support to come on and talk about the club we all love, mate.
Here. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay. Look, Trinity Park, Sunday. There's nothing we can do about it. It's outside. It's gone.
Aye, that is.
I
We
mean,
need to move on.
Trinity
We've got a
move
game
on.
on Sunday to look forward to. And people going about, I've heard people saying, oh, it's a must-win this week, it's a must-win. It's a must-win every time you play that mob. And it's a must-win that we try and win every week anyway. So it doesn't change the dynamics of the game. It's a game that we're at home and we're playing that mob and we've got to get the victory. And once we get that done, we move on to the next game, which will be them again, obviously, in the Cup. But I don't know if you're going to talk about it later on, about the pricing, man, but I think it's shocking. What we've priced that.
It's all right for people at Bridge, they can afford it. You know, us paupers, but me and you know.
I know. I've got a Josh Given page set up, I think, shortly.
Shock of the pair of you.
But
You should put it in both our pages.
aye, I know. It's just creak one of the flare boards, so you should.
What a
No,
shocker.
Bridgeman.
Oh my
Gary,
God.
if he takes the money, it's like a seesaw.
He's not been in it for a while. He's still got the old pound notes, I believe, isn't he?
I've got a few, yes.
Aye. But what's Rangers doing? I know having this nonsense, right? Category A game, right? 53, well, be 54 quid, because we'll all get whacked for the pound for your booking fee. So let's not be kidded here. But 53 quid, 54 quid is shocking. Rangers have set this price. Rangers Football Club have set this price. This will be dearer than it will be for the semi-final and the final at Hampden. So I don't know what Rangers are playing it, but I think what they're doing to our support, I think is shocking. I don't think they should be anywhere near the 50-odd quid mark. And especially that they're getting that mob's getting 37% of your gate receipts. Half it as well.
There's another point you missed.
Say that, go. Say that again.
That's what happens. If we team in the Cup, that's what they get.
They get 37%.
Aye, that's the rules, mate.
Oh, wow.
Right, here. So I said, there's another point you missed it, right? Just a small point, right? The people who will get the Cup tickets, the vast majority of them, the people who took the packages and take all the tickets. They put millions in for the Europa League tickets. That's really millions.
Oh, listen, when you're going to see ticket,
that's the reward they get. No, I'll be honest with you, I think it's £10 to £13 overpriced. That's what I think. But I'm no surprised, because I did say to you, I thought it would be the same price as the Europa League tickets before the price came out, didn't I? So that was 48 quid, yeah.
aye, I know, but it's not right. We shouldn't be pricing this game at that price. That game should have been priced for us, for our support, for the support that show loyalty, pay our season books, we pay for cup games, we travel home and away and abroad, and I think that game should have been priced about £35 for the average fan to go to that game. That's what they should have priced it. You might have tipped it slightly at the most 40, but even at that, it should have been priced about 35 to 40 quid. I would have went for that at a push. But to hit us with £54, because it will be 54, you'll be whacked for your pound booking fee. Let's not be kidded. We're all having to pay. There'll be no concessions either, so Neil Upbridge, shocking. And even for a juvenile to go £43. But that's what we're priced at. And let's not be kidded, you'll soon see these season books go up in price. The Yanks aren't the daft here. We'll start buying, and I mean, depending on where you sit in the stadium, there's already guys already paying £700 and £800 just for the Copeland rear alone. You know, and that's in the Copeland rear, as well as you sit in the main stand doing about the director's box and stuff, where you'll be a lot dearer than that, I know, again. We'll be getting hyped shortly with our season books and all, don't be kidded. But I just think Rangers Football Club have hit an own goal here by the vast majority of support. All go to Ibrox. And money's tight for a lot of people as well, and they just think, 53 bangers, there you go.
The trouble with that game, supply and demand, mate. If the 43,000 don't take them for that game, there'll be another 143,000 that would take them. That's the problem, and they know that. Doesn't make it right. I'm just saying that's the problem. If we drew, if we stumbled through in the quarter-final was against Stranraer, who'd made it through because of the quirk of fate, yeah, the tickets wouldn't have been 53 quid. Now, obviously, there would have had the cost involved in that game, but I take your point, and they've got to watch. There's always a line, and a lot of the people put the millions in for meaningless games this season in Europe, and now the same people are having to pay that money again. And there's a fine line for a lot of things. I think it's about 10 to 13 quid overpriced, if I'm honest, but I did think, I will repeat it, I said to you, they'll be the same price as the Europa League tickets, which I think, from where you sit, but about 48 quid, I think, yeah.
Aye.
So why would any non-European game be more expensive than a European game?
Well, this ticket is.
Yeah, but I'm wondering why. I'm just wondering why. Surely we should be sensible enough, or maybe it's maybe going back to
we've just seen it as supply and demand, mate.
Yeah, supply and demand, of course.
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying you what they'll be thinking, yeah. Because I don't disagree. I think it's just a bit too heavy,
Maybe the fans advisory board or something should maybe have said something. Aye, we should have said something probably before it at the last meeting, and maybe brought it up. But then again, you don't know how the draw was going to go at that time when that meeting was done and stuff. But Rangers should be making Rangers aware that they're fleecing the support here with this one. I am absolutely disgusted that they're charging us 50 odd quid for this game, which when we go to a semi-final or a final, we're going to be paying cheaper because the SFA set the prices in. I just think it's shocking. And another thing I've noticed that there's people advertising, there's hotels in Glasgow advertising a ticket for the club deck, and you can stay the night, and it's on 2 per people, and they want £260 a pop.
What?
Right, 260 quid. So what's your football club doing here? Why are people using the club deck? They've advertised it's club deck 3, 4 and 5 here. At £260 a pop to go and get hospitality. So
somebody must have bought a job lot, mate. By the way, the corporate, let's be honest, if the corporate's going to increase, it's not going to decrease, mate. Again, I'm not saying it's right.
Rangers Football Club should be on top of this, Ox. And certain hotels and certain people that are promoting it don't even go to Ibrox on a regular basis. One of them certainly went across the city. On European nights and was advertising hospitality. He was selling it off. And he's got a season ticket in East End of Glasgow. So Rangers Football Club, we need to wake up here, and they're about to fleece supporters for 260 quid for a ticket with hospitality. Nah.
I get sent a story that somebody paid £1,400 for a seat against Hearts in the Gordon Ramsay, mate.
It's shocking, but especially when it's a cup and supporters have got to get moved. Our supporters are getting moved out the Broomlawn Road stand, and we are getting packages at 260 quid.
In fact, I would say, see the gold membership in my jersey, I would put the price up for them to keep them in gold. That's what I would do.
You mean the my jersey price or the ticket price?
I'm not biting. It took me long and hard to get there. My wallet's been empty for a long time.
You done well, you did.
I know I was eating a cake at the time, actually I didn't want to talk. But, no, my wallet's empty, man. They've been fleecing me for years. That's how I'm gold now. But, no, but come on. We've got a cup time. We've got fans that I've got to go for the Brimley stand here and get moved about Ibrox. And we have got corporate hospitality getting advertised for £260. So what's happening to some of the supporters if they don't all get their tickets or don't get a chance to get a ticket inside the ground when we've got a company out there advertising tickets for the cup game at £260 a pop, and it said prices may vary. No, it's not right, Ox. It's not right. No. Oh, I'm just going to shut up now.
I don't see why you should shut up. I heard you saying earlier on that you don't like people being negative against the Rangers, and you've done quite well in the last 5 minutes.
Aye, but they're fleecing the support. That's the difference.
I know.
Somebody send a tenner in and I'll get you Southside.
Somebody send that tenner in. I love it.
Their winnings for the Super Six. He's fleecing us every weekend, Bridge.
Somebody's making money out of that's for sure. Somebody's making money out of it.
Listen, they reckon that this one game will produce better than the competition. It's mental.
Wow.
It's mental. Listen, I'm once you go supply and demand, mate, and we might not have seen nothing yet if we become successful. You know, and I don't think our football's cheap, but what they've got to also think about is they're going to have to think about tomorrow. Because today we're not always going to be here, and you've also got to think of young supporters. And if you price families out, you might know for the next generation.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point.
Yeah. You know, because listen, we know that it's tough for a lot of people. I don't recognise that, you know. I do. I'm not having a laugh with Southside, but I do think they're just being a wee bit heavy. And I thought they were a wee bit heavy for the UEFA Cup with the same conversation I've heard in Southside, didn't we?
Aye, they were hefty with the European prices, I know, aye. I understand it, clubs go to try and make money and stuff and get some money in, but sometimes I've just got to maybe just keep thinking, oh, well, it's a high demand game, they'll just pay it, because we've always just paid it. And it's a fact, if I don't go somebody else, if I don't take my ticket up, well, I'm on the CCS thing, but if I wasn't take my ticket up, somebody else will come in and buy my ticket. I get that. I totally get it. And it's a game that everybody wants to go to. But sometimes you should show a bit of loyalty to your hardcore or to the vast majority of your season ticket holders. From time to time, you should just think, do you know what? I'll price this appropriate and we'll know just boot the shit right out of here to your support. But that's what they've done this time round. They've just went, boom, tap dollar, boom, they'll pay it anyway. And I just think it's wrong.
Anonymous for Drumchapel, tell him to shut up, I'll take his ticket.
Aye.
Anonymous.
I helped him on Sunday, so tell him to cut his nonsense out.
Oh boy. Anonymous for Drumchapel. Anonymous for Drumchapel. I don't know anybody from Drumchapel that's anonymous.
Dear. Hey, did we open the phone lines? I can't remember.
You did, yes. I hope you did. Did
we?
I don't know. Did I hear a jingle? I don't even know if you heard the jingle. I've not got a Scooby-Doo.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Is the blood pressure back down again?
Aye, the monitor says it's back to normal. They're good day machines.
I could just imagine you sitting there with it on.
You're talking about two of Bridges' favourite subjects, Southside. The
Oh,
Rangers
boy.
and money.
And Scottish
Aye.
referees.
And we'll need to break into his house at some point, Ox.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, no, that could
Oh.
be a challenge, mate. That could be a challenge. Foxy, they played it
I
2
can-
minutes ago. I must have missed it with your run. Right. Listen, I get it, mate. I've just had a text with somebody we know part of the show. I'm just going to say, he sits in the Broom London. He's a managers member, signed up to CCS scheme season ticket holder. Out with the Broom loan without CCS can buy a ticket for it. But before the seat movers that are signed up to everything and been to every game, we have to go through a scramble on a website on Friday for a ticket. And that's poor from the club. Right, without knowing the details and just reading that text, that's from one of our listeners that I know. He's right, that's poor. That's poor. That's poor. Well, I hope we're not going back to if you're the people with the season tickets don't get to that game, and then that becomes ridiculous. What was get us the details? Just go through that again. There's hotels saying that it's an overnight stay for the game, or you go there for lunch and then you get a ticket for the game.
Aye, there's a couple. There's one overnight stay based on two people. Two people, right?
No fancy it, me and you.
I'm at a single bed if that's the case, in a different room. But there you go. But what if the guy or lady that's texts you, right, doesn't get a ticket, but finds out that if he can shell out £260 or whatever, he can go into the club deck? How's that fair? No, is that called looking after your customers and your loyal supporters? They've got season tickets.
Here's another thing for you. Let's be honest, mate. If you think back to the Bruges game at Ibrox, yeah? Now, this is before it really went peak tong. It wasn't great before then. And the Bruges game at Ibrox was a big game, and we said then it was slightly overpriced, yeah? Yeah. And what happened?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take in the money because there wasn't as many people there that should have been there for a lot of reasons. Forget that. People didn't want the manager and they thought they were doing a bit, but I think the price, there's always a tipping point. People have always got a tipping point, yeah?
It's harder when it's that mob across the city, but and it's a Sunday and that, it's harder. Like, people will make the effort and will try and want to be there and all that, but listen, I've said this for long enough. See, when you travel abroad and all that and you go and watch Rangers Football Club don't give a monkey's about you. They don't care. They really don't care. The only thing they bother about is if something happens and there's trouble. That's it. Apart from that, they don't care how you get there. They don't look after you. They've never gave a monkey's about the support. They proved it during the COVID season when people were taking season books, took after them because they couldn't afford to pay and could even get in, and people lost their seats and all that. Rangers Football Club don't care. They tell you they care, but they don't care. And you don't. It's not your seat. You rent the seat. And if you don't come up with the money, they'd certainly take it straight off you.
Told you that years ago, didn't I?
Aye, and people get sentimental about seats and all that. Oh, it was my seat for 40 years and 50 years and all that. But you're renting the seat. But Rangers Football Club do not care about us as a support. And it's been proven on many occasions over the years that they don't care. And if they did, they wouldn't be whacking us off for £54 come this game and all. They'd have a wee bit more foresight. Same with the European fixtures and stuff like that. They'd have priced it accordingly. But we're the dearest in Europe, in Britain. We're the dearest in the UK and Britain. And we're dearest for the Europa League packages and all that. So they don't care about you. They tell you they care and we're this and we're that, but they don't. And a lot of people have travelled abroad and all that and seen the way we've been treated abroad and what we've had to put up with over the years will testify to that. They don't care. The only thing they bother about is if there's any trouble or something's happened and it's negative to the support, which isn't always the supporters' fault either when we travel abroad. It's the only time they'll get involved and say something. But otherwise, they don't give a monkey's about the support, mate, and that's just my own opinion on it.
I've just sent a text to see if it cheers you up, mate, all right? He's a real looking bitch. Look, he's a real looking. The fan base, and it's an emotional tie for us, and sometimes people, the hard-nosed businessmen at every football club now, particularly the way the game's changed in the last 30, 40 years, and we've been at the forefront of a lot of that, let's be honest. You know, we were one of the founder members of the Champions League and started all that up. And, so we were at the forefront of it, but there's a tipping point, and you've got to watch, and you throw in VAR and some of the unusual kick-off times and all that, mate. You've got to watch when you're going. It's a sport, not just your club. Rich?
Yeah, of course. You've got to be cautious sometimes, you know, and we've got to be very careful because we don't want our club to get into any trouble at all. We want to have a club with its nose clean. We don't want anything disparaging about our club, and so whatever it is we need to do to keep it clean, then we need to do it. But there are times when I agree with Southside. The support definitely feels sometimes they're not being well looked after. Let's put it that way. I think the Rangers should be doing a wee bit more for the boys that come in to do it in the gates, and pump their money into the club and so on and so forth. Because sometimes it doesn't seem like that. Sometimes it's just wrong, you know. However, I don't know how to. I'm not a person that can resolve all that. But I think Southside should be put on some sort of some panel to look into these things within Ibrox, and he could come up and give some good suggestions because he sees things that a wee bit differently for me. Well, a lot different for me.
I'll play devil's advocate for you. I'll play devil's advocate before we go to the tune just quickly. Yeah, to the 2 years. So we're expecting other people to put millions and millions and millions of their pounds in. And we don't want to put an extra 500 in. It's an argument, isn't it?
You mean just give Rangers £500?
Well, we do, don't we, through tickets, whether you...
Yes, of course.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
the time you're finished, you've got your season ticket, and then if you take all the cup ties, all the European games, you'll be close to 500 quid. Would that be fair?
Yeah,
Tap your
absolutely,
season ticket.
yeah,
Would that be
absolutely.
right? Southside?
Aye. Aye. Well, I listen, I get what you're saying about we expect the new board and the board members and all the ones before it to shell out their pocket. But let's not be kidded. Rangers support shell out all the time. Many daft strips. Man, we're playing Livingston. We can't even wear a blue strip because we're promoting some other strip and the fleeces 4 times a year, and people with families and wains that want the strip and all that. So I think, to be honest, the Rangers support put in a lot of money into the club, and we might not be as much at times as certain directors and all that haven't put money in, but we do it faithfully every year. We renew our books, and then obviously people buy the merchandise as much as they can throughout the year. But when you're bringing out 4 strips and all that and want to make 5 strips a year, then sometimes it just gets a wee bit where you've got to draw the line. I mean, some of them...
See that white one with the blue and the red across the top? I don't think that looks so good on you. I think it's a round shape for you, mate.
A day, aye. Don't
Okay, that's shocking. Shocking.
I've got one. It's all right in the summer, but once the winter comes in, I don't think it's a good look on you, mate. The other ones are not so bad than the orange ones.
Don't bite, as I said, don't bite.
I know.
By the way, we'll come back to that.
Well,
we then in blue when we can, Southside. We'll come back
100%.
Right,
100%.
Get yourself in mute. And you don't take a settler, right? Get yourself in mute because we're going to have a tune, and this is the wee blue double, and remember, it's Walter Smith's birthday today. Take it away, old school boy.
He's majestic, that's for sure, and he'll be forevermore a legend. He's the man who we all love, for he set those standards high, and there's no one can deny he's a giant of the Rangers Football Club. A giant of the Rangers Football Club. There's a statue of the man behind the Copland stand in his honor, with his hands punching the air. So often they'd been there. He's forever in our hearts. He's Walter Smith. He's forever in our hearts. He's Walter Smith. As all the world will know, he won 9 in a row. His presence at our club, it was sheer bliss. And although no longer here, in our hearts we hold him dear. He's forever in our hearts, he's Walter Smith. He's forever in our hearts, he's Walter Smith. He's majestic, that's for sure, and he'll be forevermore a legend. He's the man who we all love, for he set those standards high, and there's no one can deny. He's a giant of the Rangers Football Club, a giant of the Rangers Football Club.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Wow. Yeah. We Blue Devil done well. Yeah, tune that. Yeah, tune. Southside.
Aye, it was good. Me Blue Devil, was it? That's credit to him. Aye, it was good. Something slightly different. And aye, it was nice.
Yeah, Walter. Sadly missed her.
Oh, aye, 100%. Sort of listening to that tune, a couple of wee memories come flooding by. I was remembering them, what Danny Roll did just the other week here, running down the touchline, celebrating when Eric Bo Anderson scored, and also at Hampden that day when we had the 9 men against St Mirren, and he was out in that touchline, and he was absolutely willing that team forward, screaming and bawling, waving his arms about, organising them for the touchline, Walter, that day. Because McCoy's used to take the cup teams, if you remember, but things weren't going too well. The master came down and took over, and the 9 men go to that cup final that day against St Mirren on the Pigeon, I think.
The Pigeon, Bridges' favourite Pigeon.
Aye, but remember him on the touchline that day at Hampden, absolutely willing the Rangers, like we were for the stands. It was just like him. He was on the touchline and we were in the stands, willing the team the same as Walter. The passion he showed and all that, and sometimes I like to see that come out in my manager. But Walter was a legend. He knew how to get the job done, respected by everybody. Obviously, and players.
We're playing them at Ibrox on Sunday, mate, and if you think back, Walter, a decent record against them with the piece, yeah. What would be your favourite? I know I'll put you in the spot here, and I don't expect you to come right away, but what would be your favourite? We'll put it out to the listeners as well. Walter Smith memory against them at Ibrox, because the game's at Ibrox.
Well, just because the memory was sort of there when I seen him running down the touchline, was obviously that one comes to mind. And who was in my head when I was sitting thinking. I probably will come up with one shortly. That one came to my mind when I was listening to the tune. Just seeing him running down the touchline and showing the passion that the support showed that day. Because at the end of the day, Walter was one of us. He was just fortunate that he go to Ibrox and become our manager, assistant manager and manager. But that was the one that sort of came into my head at the time when the tune was on. But Walter knew how to get the job done against Celtic, didn't he? You know.
Aye, some record. And you mentioned Eric Bo Anderson, you know, that day when he came on and scored 2 goals. That was on the road to 9 in a row, you know. Some great victories against them at Ibrox, no. you know, but
Top
well,
manager,
obviously,
wasn't he? Top manager.
Rich, yes.
Top manager for us, that's for sure. Walter Smith. I loved it when he was sitting in the stand, and then all of a sudden he'd appear, and everybody started running about looking, what were you going to do? The players started waking up and things like, you know. Just as an impression of him as he was, shall we say, a hallowed manager, but the people who worked for him loved him to bits. He must have been the easiest manager Rangers had to get on with, you know, from a player's perspective. But my goodness, he wanted his pound of flesh when you were playing. When that game was going, if you weren't doing it, then you get hauled over, you know. I think it was great. It was fabulous, and the pigeon at Hampden, that was just unbelievable. I love that. I loved every second of that game. You know, it's just wonderful. That wee pigeon following the ball. There you go. Wee Miller putting it in. Oh, wow. Come on, Rangers. Getting excited now.
Aye. Listen, I'm going to look at his record against them. Just I've not looked at it, but aye. Special memories, Walter Smith. And obviously, as we said, Southside, a great record against them. Didn't win every game, but you know, that kind of fixture, is it?
They're unpredictable. You can't. I mean, you hope to win the 4 games a season in the league when you play them, but it doesn't happen that often. Happens the odd time. It had happened the odd time in the past, but they're unpredictable. Walter knew how to set a team up, and he was a winner. He treated players with respect. The players all respected Walter. They all used to say if he gave you that stare or whatever, or he pulled you up the stair into his office and he had something to say, then you knew he was going to be right in what he had to say about you. He loved Rangers Football Club. He demanded the respect and the standards to be shown, and that's what he demanded, and that's what he expected for all the players. And they've all talked favourably about him in the past, and they've all said the same thing about him. He treated the players the way they should be treated, and if you only toeing the line, he shouldn't let you know about it. But he knew how to sort of get a job done. And listen, I remember when we got to the first Europa League, Europa final in Manchester, it wasn't pretty to watch at times, playing the 4-5-1 away from home in Europe and all that. But listen, it got the job done and it got us to the final. I just think when we got to the final in Manchester, they should have changed it. We should have went for it that day. We had that whole stadium in Manchester was virtually the Rangers support there that night, and I think he probably should have went a wee bit more open. Arshavin was the one that was the guy we sort of feared at the time, but we should have went for it. We shouldn't have went with a defensive mode that day. We should have went and had a go at them. You only get to one. Well, at that time, I didn't think I'd ever season our European final because it took me a long time to season that one, and then suddenly we get to another one. But we should have had a go at them in Manchester. That was my only regret. But some of the performances that we put in on that run, and Fiorentina will always stay in my memory with the penalties and me natural scoring the goal and everything. And Davy Weir that night, colossal. He did everything out that box.
Absolutely, yeah.
Davy Weir was everywhere on that part that night. Just knew where to position himself. And the way we even going Sporting Lisbon away and all that, Whittaker going an amazing run and all that and scoring and stuff, playing the 4-5-1, Darcheville, Kuzan, the only thing probably was Kuzan, you could tell was going to get sent off that night in Fiorentina after being booked, which was crazy. But Walter, he knew how to get the job done. It wasn't pretty sometimes and we had to go defensive, but at the end of the day he knew how to set a team up. He knew how to try and get your result. Don't get me wrong, some performances in Europe were the past where we weren't so good. We under Walter and all. No, can't say it was always brilliant because there was a few times we've been away in Europe and that, and some of the performances were really bad and poor. But on the whole, for what he done at the club and how he took us to 9 in a row, and just the magnitude of the man. And if you've ever the fortune to meet him at times. Because I met him a few times, he was courteous, he gave you time to talk to him and that, and he was polite and everything. He was just a Rangers man, a Rangers legend, Ox.
I think he could go down as soon as his greatest signing There you go. Oh, Smith.
You could be right there, mate, because of what ended up happening. You know, at the time when Souness came in, you'd have thought Butcher and Woods and all the stars and all the players that come in and they get, and then, but the way the history of the club developed, I wouldn't argue with that, Rich. I really wouldn't. You know, I've said, as you know, I was in his company a good few times. A gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
A gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
No, I was fortunate, same as
Funny
yourself.
as well.
Aye.
There's a story I can't tell on here.
Why not? Come on, out with it.
Actually, a couple, but aye, well.
You tell Southside and he'll let the lads know.
Aye. He's got a few stories he can't
I'm
tell.
not. There's a few, can I tell?
Aye, Walter's sadly gone, really sad. And parts with all the family, with all his family and friends, you know. But I listen, I got his record against him in the 2 years, just so you know. He played against him 56 times, won 28, so exactly 50%. Drew 13, lost 15, so nearly double the victories, defeats, which is quite a good record in that fixture. But it's always been competitive at that time, yeah. You know, a couple of their managers might have better stats now because of when they played us at that particular time in their career, you know. Maybe one of them's in Arabia now, but he runs away as soon as they go and get stuffed. You know, but Walter, true gentleman, true legend, true Rangers man, and hopefully the spirit of Walter, because it's his birthday week, we'll say, will be with us on Sunday, Bridgeman, eh?
Oh, let's hope so. We're out loud and proud, pal. Wow. Big game. Biggest of the season.
I dug it again there to look, and for some reason I had it in my head, and it was a different year. We played them on a Sunday in March, similar side of the season. It was we're going for 8 in a row. Yeah, 96 Southside, and the night before it, and Nassim was fighting in Glasgow, and my old man was there with other people, and he sort of moved away. The fight lasted 35 seconds. You never seen
35 seconds. I love it. Oh, wait a minute. Do it again.
And the exhibition centre, that was the night before we played the, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Just when I checked the game out.
Aye.
The next day, you know, I was just thinking back. The memories he gave us, you know. One of your man, it wasn't the Ibrox, I don't always say the Ibrox Bridgeman, but when he brought Hateley back and we were near the bones and the team was running on oxygen, and he managed to get us over the line, didn't he?
What a performance. The whole team put on that day. Oh, just fabulous. That big Hateley was like a big bulldozer, you know. He ran into everybody, caused all sorts of mayhem everywhere on the pitch. And he got sent off. It wasn't the Mark Hateley game, it goes down as the Mark Hateley game. Oh, wonderful, just wonderful. You know, the atmosphere was incredible, of course, but dear, oh dear, oh dear, he did some damage. I don't mean killing anybody, but he did some damage. Get sent off, the goalkeeper stuck heading him. Oh, these wonderful memories, let me tell you. Always like that game, Oxford. You can always bring that game up. I could talk about that forever.
I'm trying to think back, yeah. Famous Walter, yeah. Ibrox. I'll have a think. You know, have a think. Aye, it'd be good to hear from people because it's Walter's birthday today, just to change the subject, but definitely Fox for reminding us. Good players, mate. Always good players, but he didn't always have star players. You know, you look at sometimes you think, you know, I mean, see in years to come, see the team that won the league at Tannadice, mate. people would struggle to name that.
Aye.
Huh?
Yeah, well, if remember we went down and played the Battle of Britain and Dale Gordon played in it,
Aye, you wouldn't
which
know
no
that,
many,
right?
which people probably wouldn't have thought we might have got in the team. You know, he for some reason he
was on the bench.
aye, Dale Gordon started, and sometimes he done certain things. He did the habit of playing. I'm trying to think, it was somebody else he used to bring in all the time. The odd game, and used to think, where's he been for weeks? But Walter probably just knew at times what he seen in a player and gave him solid instruction and just go out there and do the job, and do to the best of your ability. If he had a sort of idea in his head, he went with it. Like you said, not every single player. Sometimes, like you said, Mikhailichenko being on the bench, Dale Gordon starting. No, and even you look at some of the players that started at Tannadice that night after we blew it at Ibrox. Was it against Motherwell or Kilmarnock? I can't remember. Was it Motherwell? Said I got the job done that day, and we didn't. I had to go up to Tannadice. And even Charlie Miller crossing the ball and Brian Laudrup heading it in the net. It's something totally different with Brian Laudrup. Wasn't noted for heading the ball, was he? Exactly, heading the ball.
By the way, a lovely cross and then a cracking header. So it was great stuff. Memories, right enough.
And by the way, if we're honest, when he took over for Graham Souness, it wasn't for the support. It wasn't everybody's number one choice. People might say, I was, no, but at the time, Southside Bridge, I don't believe he was.
No, he wasn't. I can assure you that. He wasn't everybody's choice.
No.
A lot of folk thought he hadn't done enough because he was only with Souness, what, 2.5 seasons or something like that.
Oh, but Souness came in 86 and left in 91, mate. 5 years.
Oh, there you go. 5 years then, right. So it's still not a long time, you know, but actually brilliant, truth be told. I just think it was great, but there's lots of folk weren't keen on him because he hadn't had a lot of first team management experience. That's all they were thinking. He's not being a first team manager, you know.
Aye, but,
I like him anyway. I liked him anyway. I loved him to bits.
I'm just going to look at Souness's record against them, but I thought it was a bit. It turned out it was the only choice, and what he got it right. Souness is pretty similar. 20, not the amount of games, but 27, 14 wins, 4 draws and 9 defeats. Yeah. So, very similar.
9 defeats. 9 defeats.
You can imagine some of these squad of players now, and Walter or Souness in charge at the time, or even Walter. For these players, what they were up to the last couple of times and some of their behavioural things and stuff, well, they wouldn't have tolerated any of that, you know what I mean? Any of their carry on and any of their ideas of what they've done in the last couple of years, some of the squad players, even when Gerrard was there, when some of the players, Walter or Souness would never have tolerated any of the nonsense down in tools and whatever, or even Raskin was carry on at the start of the season. And that, you know, it wouldn't have been tolerated at all. He'd have been pinned up against that dressing room wall, I think.
Yeah.
But he also wouldn't have tolerated the way my previous manager, Danny, dressed at the side of the park.
Aye, Russell Martin. Aye.
That wasn't
aye.
I know that doesn't
standards, mate. Standards.
I don't listen. I know it doesn't make you a manager, and you could stand there with a yellow shell suit on if you win every week and get away with it. But when you're no one and all these things get magnified 1,000 times, that's the problem. And it's naive to think that you're special. Because there's no many people special at the bridge. He's no arguing with his Southside.
So I missed that.
Nah,
You said there. You tell us, Southside.
I can't say nothing. Self-praise is no praise at all. So he's sitting there silent, slapping up, isn't he?
Me and you, special needs.
I've lost the place there, go boys. Tell you the truth.
Welcome for 55. Oh, we're still is watching. He will
the magic hat.
the street in England.
And
He said,
he said, no, fuck that. I just loved it. See that bit where he says, oh no, well, I'm the one to go, I don't want that, no, or something like that. We sweary word in it there. It's brilliant. Aye. What's the boys, what are the fans singing for Danny Rowe? They got a new song for him?
Danny Rowe, the Boney M number.
All right, okay. Danny Rowe. I love it.
That's Boney M, wasn't it?
It was Boney M, that's right, yeah. Although he didn't actually sing about Danny Rowe. I mean,
I didn't think he did. Southside.
No. Oh, I've lost the plot here. I forgot what we were talking about, man.
Right,
Come on, Ray. You get back to the script, whatever the script's meant to be. You're the conductor.
I'll get back to the script, mate. I just want to touch on it. I'm with you. When we kid, we should wear blue and rotate. We're setting strips about. Yeah. But when you're watching that team, and that's 3 games away from home, and we've hardly scored a goal, let's be honest. And we're not in blue. Maybe I'm just being old-fashioned, I don't know, but I just like to see the Rangers Football Club, where possible, play in blue. Southside.
Aye, 100%. I understand you've got to promote a strip or an away strip. But I said, we've had some horrendous ones out. Back in the day, we've had the purple one and all that. It was like Fiorentina tap back in the day many years ago and stuff. Be playing blue, and for whatever team that we can play in blue against throughout the season, that's what we should wear. I get you've got to give the away top an airing every now and again, or promote it when you're trying to sell it. You've got to play so many matches, I believe. That's fine. Maybe do that, but when it gets to 3rd and 4th strips that we're turning up when there's no need to, then we can easily go out and play in the blue strip, and that's what we should do, Ox. That's the way I've always been brought up, to go and watch Rangers. But I understand that they're trying to generate this and that, and you've got to keep wearing strips all over the place. But I think it just looks silly at times, and I'm not used to watching Rangers wearing black or purple and all that. It's blue, and when we can wear blue away from home, we should be wearing it regardless. Or if we've got the white strip there, then I take it, and we need to wear it now and again, then wear it. But apart from that, that should be at Ox. It's madness, but it's just the way things are these days, isn't it?
It's a sign of the times. I mean, we didn't always wear blue, obviously clashes and all that, but it just doesn't make sense. And by the way, there was another thing that I picked up on Sunday when the game kicked off. We were dark strip, and then Livingston with the black shorts, and the linesman, the referee had black shorts on. I said, well, this is mental. But I thought you were meant to try and get away from colour clashes to make it easier for refs to see things. I just thought, this again, what's happened with the game? Yeah? Brisbane playing blue, yeah?
Yeah, when I see these strips, I don't like the dark strips of darker colours. The Rangers should be playing a far more bright colour than that, or bright colour, should I say? I never appreciated that strip they had on. I think it was a terrible strip, colour-wise, right? Colour-wise, and I want Rangers to get brighter colours on them with red, white, and blue in it somewhere. It could be all red, it could be all white, it could be all blue, and it could be the home team, the home standard home strip. But we should be playing with different colours than we were playing with. Nothing dark, please. No dark stuff, because it's just drab and rubbish. We're no hiding then. We've got nothing to hide. Let's play loud and proud. Get out there. Sorry, is that what you meant me to say? Is it, Oxia?
No, you see what you want, mate. You're a big boy.
Yeah.
You're real dirty.
Well, no, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I know Southside goes away and sees more of the away strips with his own eyes now, but I preferred red tops, you know, white shorts, and the standard black and red shorts, providing it works in. But no, I just don't understand what we're doing sometimes with it.
Yeah, again, south side, if we're honest, it's the nature of the beast, isn't it? You know, it's modern football, and it's not just our club, is it?
No, it's the way it is, and it's the way it's got to be, unfortunately. And people do shell out money, and kids all want a new strip when it comes out, whether it be the third strip or whatever, the fourth strip. They like to get it and wear it, and parents end up having to fork out a fortune. And then obviously, if we go along to watch the team and the kids got the strip on that day, then the team should probably come out and wear it, I suppose, as the saying goes. At any point in bringing out a strip, and then you never see the team in it. But unfortunately, it's the side of the times. But I prefer to watch Rangers playing blue at all times if possible. But the modern day is that it's not likely we will wear the second or the third strip, unfortunately, away from home.
But who actually picks the strips? Is it the people that make them? Do they put them into us?
They'll look at the home teams you'll be playing. Or you mean who picks the strips?
You know.
They'll give you
is it the manufacturer says, yeah, we're bringing out a third strip for you? Oh, wait a minute.
You'll be contracted, mate. You'll be contracted to bring out X, Y, and Z to try and sell, yeah?
Right, okay.
Yeah, it'll be part of the contract, and then it'll be also contracted that you've got to wear certain ones in a certain amount of times, yeah? Yeah, but listen, I get on the south side, I understand all that, but I just personally like to see Rangers in blue. Yeah?
Yeah, it's got to be that way, right enough. I just, sometimes, that strip, it just did nothing for me. And I dare say it didn't. It looks as if we couldn't see each other. We were trying to pass the ball. Sorry, I'm making a joke. I shouldn't be doing that. But really and truly, it was terrible. Just terrible.
Aye. I just like to see Rangers in blue. Just old fashioned. But there we go. Somebody sent me a message. I don't do Facebook for anybody that sends me messages on Facebook. Yeah, as you well know, Southside, I don't do it, so I'm not on it. Never have been.
I don't date myself, mate. I don't do it, so no interest in it at all.
No.
But I know a lot of people do it, but it's not for me.
You know, so aye, we go forward with a big game on Sunday. Have you any thoughts? I know it's early, and any thoughts? Everybody's fit. How you would line up Southside? And I'm not talking about personnel at the moment. Maybe just shape. How would you look at it? It's intriguing. What are you thinking?
I'd go a 4-3-3. I think it's the way we should go. That's the way I would do. It'll be interesting to see what the manager picks when the time comes. And it'll probably come down to who's fit. Because I know we've got a couple of niggling injuries here and there to players, unfortunately. But I would go 4-3-3 Ox.
Right. Was that because of the second half performance at their place, mate? Is that what you're thinking?
I just think it probably suits us better. We've got to have a go at them. You could go back to a traditional 4-4-2, I suppose. You could go that way as well, and play two strikers. But I've got a feeling that we'll have two wingers on the park, and probably the one striker. Listen, it might end up at 4-2-3-1. Is what we've watched, or something like that. But I would go 4-3-3.
Aye. I get your rationale, you know. What's happened to you? What you're thinking what's happened with Diamante? He was playing well, and you maybe think he's maybe picked up a knock. I mean, we were critical up to about January, and his form improved, didn't he? and then he sort of disappeared again. Any thoughts?
I just maybe rested him. He might have been carrying a wee slight knock, and he
Uh-huh.
might have just stuck him on the bench, keep him fresh. Might have been the only thing I could think of. It's weird because we've looked at this, we've heard it, and players going into these red zones and all that, and you think back, and Tav was playing every week, and Golson played every week back in the day. And I had to worry about how many games they were playing, and were they playing too many. They just constantly played week in, week out, and I think probably, I like to think that if you pick a team and it's on a winning run, then if they're all fit, they all start again the following week, and you try and play that, and you try and keep the team consistent. Depending on the schedule, I get you maybe have to take a player out here or there, and maybe keep them for the following week, or give them a rest and change one or two. But I'm always been the thought of, if a team wins, it starts and wins the game, you might bring subs on that still see the game out, but if the team's strong enough at the start that wins the game, then you should normally start that sort of team the following week. But it'll be interesting to see when you're thinking about Sunday. I know it's a bit early, but if you're looking on sort of performances, do you think somebody like Scove Olsen starts a game like that? Or do you think he's maybe going to look up and think, I'll put him on the bench, he'll sit, because the game's going to be fast and furious, and maybe the game will pass him by, so it might be worth
Who
maybe
else would you start in that position then?
Well, the only other one you probably would put out there would probably be, it depends. Well, Ant-Man never made it at all, but I think Ant-Man looked all right on the left, although he said he can play on the right. He likes to play on the right as well. I seen him get an interview, and they asked him, and he said he prefers to play either way. Probably Gasamara would probably get the nod because of the amount of game time. He said fitness-wise, I think he would probably go on the right. And if Tav starts, if I've said to you, if you certainly look at the team back in some of the fixtures, when Tav goes right back, if he plays right back, and maybe Sterling comes in at right back on Sunday. But if Tav starts normally, Gasamara has normally been on the right-hand side for games when Tav has started and played. So if it's Scove Olsen doesn't start,
Well,
then
if you
I
were
would.
picking the team on form, Scove Olsen's no starting. You know, he's no
Correct.
done it. Yeah, but he started them and played them for an hour against Hearts. Yeah. So he must win that big game. So I've got a funny feeling he might trust him again. But if you were picking the team in form, Bridge, I don't think he's in it, is he?
No, I don't think so. And I think actually Gazimer's hanging on his fingernails because he might not get a game. I'm a big fan of his, but I don't think he's ready to play unless you're going to play him on the left. He's got to play on the left. It's the only place in the park that the guy can shine. You put him out on the right and he starts to shrivel up. So I'm no keen on him out there. But he's got to be out on the left. I would like to say that I'd like to go with the shape that Southside said. Let's go 4-3-3, and if stretch it a wee bit, go 4-4-2. That would be okay as well. But we've got to watch. We need to have someone from the midfield or close to the midfield, let's put it that way, is going to help with Tav, because I think Tav's a liability. He always seems to play quite well against them, but not for the whole game. He's not got any pace left, I don't think. However, let's hope he does, because he'll play against them for sure. That's the one I think we'll definitely play.
Aye. Do you think Sterling comes back? I've got a funny feeling Sterling comes back in Southside. Yeah.
Unless he's one of the players that he said was maybe 2 weeks out. Might not see him.
That is 2 weeks out.
I'd like to think Sterling can come back and start, but I'm not 100% sure. I would like him to start and come into the team, because I think he's what we need. He's got the physicality and stuff. The only thing is, he's normally all right when he comes in, even though he has large spells out the team through injury. he seems to manage to come back in and do all right, and there's a good chance he'll probably come in and probably play about 60 minutes again, round about that, and then he might come off. And if James Tavernier's been benched, then there's a chance he'll bring Tav on. Aaron's looks like he's not really featured much in the last wee time, even though he's been on the bench. He's not the one that's came on. I think Danny Rowell's probably game management with a lot of the players as well. Try to keep the big squad happy at times. But Tav's our captain. He's got the experience of these fixtures. And if we're winning the game and we're having to bring off Sterling, then there's no reason why Tav can't come in and take his position. So I think Sterling, I'd like Sterling to start, I'd like Romans to start. Obviously my man now, Fernandez, has got to start. But I think Giga had done it all right in the last couple of games that he played. Suter obviously looked a bit ropey, but Suter will probably start also, I would imagine, with his experience in the fixture.
He'll start. I'm obviously pleased with John Suter on Sunday, mate. Mr. Fox has come in with one. In which game did 3 players make their Old Firm debuts and score? And I think that's meant to be unplayed. Well, if he scored, yeah. Wow. I'm suggesting that what he's been looking at today, it might be under Walter Smith.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
The names
Sounds like it.
Scored in their debut.
Well, that was the first game against Celtic. The left back, Ian Bartram.
Yeah, no, he scored in his debut. All right.
Well,
Wallenstein.
Which game? In the same game, mate, 3 players made their debut and scored.
Oh, 3 of them. All right, okay.
Wow. Need to think about that, Mr. Fox.
That's a real good one, by the way.
3 players. So obviously scored 3 or more goals, yeah. Form debuts. Yeah, you think it's right in the brain?
Aye.
What was the 5-1 game at Ibrox?
Drinkle scored in that game,
Drinkle.
but Walter scored in that. But I don't know about that one.
McCoy scored 2. They'd played before, hadn't they?
Aye, Walters had played before. Walters made his debut against them up at the crime scene.
That didn't happen, mate. That never happened that day.
Oh, did it no?
No.
Did it never? Nothing like that. No fruit involved. Nothing.
No, nothing, mate.
No suits on. Nothing like that. No.
Nothing happened.
No, none. No. Must have imagined it. It must have been hallucinating that day up there.
Right. Yeah, right. So, in which game did 3 of your players make their Old Firm debut and score? They want the names of the player. Right, okay. Did you, Mr. Fox?
What about Ray Wilkins? Ray Wilkins? He no scored in his debut.
No, that wasn't his debut, mate.
No, his debut against the Old Firm debut.
No.
Oh, maybe that's not the question. I do apologise.
He played the season before, mate.
All right, okay.
All right.
Well, I can't think.
Right. Did Advocat was the manager. The one guy been with the club for a while and had a bad injury, and it was his Old Firm debut. There's a clue.
Wow.
Say that again, or Michael Moles?
Michael Moles. Yep. And I'll give you a clue. A captain that you like scored, I think he scored the opening goal that day.
Butcher.
No, he's just mentioned Michael Moles. Moles wouldn't have been the same
team.
I
was with the same team. Sorry, boys.
You need to listen, Bridge. Every clue's a nugget. A captain that you like, for Hamilton. Southside.
Aye, right, aye. Uh-huh.
Barry
Barry.
Ferguson? No.
Right.
Aye, Barry
I think he
Ferguson,
might
yeah.
have got the first goal that day. I think he might have got it. Somebody made his debut. And the other goal
It's the
scorer
Dutchman,
was a
Ronald de Boer.
Dutchman. Yep.
Ronald de Boer. He waved to
no
me.
work for you guys.
He waved to me at Parkhead. He ran near the corner flag. Scored. It was in that game, but it was a that game we won was at Ibrox you're talking about, wasn't it? Was it a game we battered them at Ibrox?
Aye.
Did was the other one a back heel flick?
Yes. Big tall flag. Aye, yes.
What's his name again? He just flicked it, didn't he?
Andy Cap.
Flo.
Andy Cap.
Tore Andre Flo.
Torrey Andre Flo.
Eugene Mr. Fox, Tony Andrew Flo, Ronald de Boer and Michael Moles. Moles would be the tricky one, because that was about 18 months or something after he had a good run of form. Then he hadn't played against them and obviously got assaulted in Germany, yeah.
Gabby Amato.
By the best goalkeeper now.
Gabby Amato. No score in that game.
That was the 4-2 game, mate. Just after Moles had got injured, I think.
Was it?
And the season before.
De Boer for Moles.
There you go. Good, Mr. Fox. Good. No.
Fox Notes can say congratulations to you guys, no?
No. Yeah.
Nah, he just poses the question, hopes we get it right.
Aye, Mr. Fox. Aye. Scratch my head, mate. Scratch my head. Michael Moles is a tricky one there. He came on as sub, I remember. I think he may have got the last goal. Yeah. Well, Andre Cap would be the manager, no Walter. Yeah, I was thinking Mr. Fox would be looking at Walter's games. Yeah. Aye, special players. Big Flo, wasn't he? I mean, it's bad, and obviously we did sign him for a few kids, but we had a good chunk came back. It wasn't ways that long, but I think everybody was actually, it wasn't so much his goal scoring, they're disappointed that he wasn't as good a player as we all thought we were getting Southside there.
Aye, price tag probably obviously shelled out a lot of money for him at that time. Probably could have done better, but he had a decent record at Chelsea and that when he was doing there, didn't he? He was doing alright. But aye, Chusma had a few strikers that sometimes come up and were alright elsewhere and didn't just hit the ground running when they come up. Stephen Givars, I know. I can't remember when he came in. Big Mark Falco. Billy
I don't know if it
Drinko.
was his debut. Givars up at Perth. Was it 7-0?
Aye, that was the one. Ken Chelsea stood in the ball up there, I know. Sure he was on the right that day. But aye, Givars came in with a big reputation. Didn't stay long or last long, did he really?
Well, hardly ways, mate.
I know. Lionel Charbonnet was in goals that day, I'm sure. I'm sure he was in goals for us that day, I know.
Is that Chris Woods?
No, Lionel Charbonnet.
Right, Charbonnet, I quite liked him.
I think he was.
You're going to have to get him. You're going to have to go to that doctor's and get a year's wax bridge.
Oh, tell me about it. Shocking. My wife gives me a doing every night because of it.
Either that, but just get the straw and blow right through.
Very good. Hope it makes a difference.
Oh dear. Aye, some special memories, and I hope for everybody involved, particularly for the young bears, yeah, and maybe the old bears as well. But I hope that we get a special day at the stadium on Sunday, Because we just seen a taste of it 2 weeks ago. And I hope because it'll be even bigger if we turn them on Sunday, Southside.
Oh, aye. Ibrox will be rocking. That's what we're looking for. Team need to come out and be right on it for the first whistle. Because the crowd will certainly be on it and up for it on Sunday. Bit early kick-off, 12 o'clock, but it's one of the ones. You need to sacrifice, you need to miss church and all that to go. But it is what it is. We've just got to go and see the team we all love, and hopefully we get the 3 points. And then obviously we get them the following week when we batter them out that cup, and that ends their season. And probably Aberdeen will do damage to them in the midweek, so they'll be battered in Europe on Thursday night, and then maybe Hibs have already done them. Maybe Motherwell will take something off them, so their season will be well gone. And it's down to us then to have a 2-horse fight with Hearts, and Hearts have got a couple of games coming up. I know Aberdeen away and Kilmarnock and that, so plenty to play for Ox. And Sunday's just one of the games that we need to make sure that it's a league game and we need to get the 3 points and put us into that position where we're looking for Hearts to drop something over the next couple of weeks, and then we need to go to Tynecastle when the time comes. But hopefully by the time we get there, I'd like to think that we could be top of this league table. We need to show a level of consistency, and we've dropped points here and people will be going, we'll have a couple of away games and we'll be back to usual. But listen, we'll see the picture then when we get there. And if we can get there, once we get this league and cup game out the road, and then we go to St Mirren, if we are sitting with a couple of points after him, or they drop in there the next couple of games, and then we can go and take advantage, then once we get to the top of the summit, hopefully it'll be plain sailing all the way. So that's what we're looking for, but we've got to do the damage against them on Sunday, and looking forward to it. I don't think they'll be looking forward to it. The fact they tried to go and get Trustee's ban overturned, which was a shocker, and rightly so, they've upheld it and gave him a 3-match ban for violent conduct. So
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Aye, well, put it this way, he'd probably play if they could have got away with it. He would be playing then. He's a bit of a donkey, but listen, they'll be scrambling about now for another centre-back, no doubt, because they wanted him to play. And the fact that he's not going to be, and he's banned for the next 3 games. And I think they've got Welsh back at Motherwell on loan, I think. Or whether he's up there or no, I don't know. I think they maybe went back to Motherwell, I don't know. Either or, they wanted him to play against us regardless of his form. He's not very good, but listen, it doesn't matter. It's only about one team in Sunday, and it's all about Rangers Football Club, and it's all about us getting the 3 points on Sunday and battering that mob into submission.
Yeah. And by the way, if we day win on Sunday, mate, you'd have paid $2,000 for that seat.
We win on Sunday, I'll be at my usual watering holes, celebrating. You know where I'll be. That's what it's all about. Enjoying the times with your pals and your friends that go to the football with you week in, week out. Enjoying the times. Once you've battered that mob on Sunday, you'll be getting a few drinks and celebrating, mate, until the next one.
Yeah, mate. And hopefully you'll have a few quid there it'll be a free day for you, mate, because you'll have the money for the Southside Super 6 to spend.
Aye, well, I'll tell you after the night what it's looked like, but let's say 2.5 goals a night, and it's a 9-team Aki, and I'll say no more than that.
Aye, you see me do all right when you don't give them to us.
It's during the week. During the week.
Oh, I couldn't afford you during the week, mate. You're too dear at the weekend. Couldn't afford them.
I know. I'm just wondering what's the best Monday to take off, whether it's this Monday coming or the one after.
Go for both.
Aye. I need to stop posting. I need to stop giving updates, Bridge. It's no fair, is it?
No, it's no, pal. It's no.
Funny. But anyway, aye, big game on Sunday, Bridge. Start build up now. It's in everybody's thoughts. There's no midweek games. We've not got a European tie. which is truly unusual. Yeah. But hey, did you see that stat? They won a knockout tie for 22 years, mate.
That is some record, isn't it? That is some record. See if you, I mean, seriously, because I'll think such twisted things about them anyway. I would, if someone told me, I probably wouldn't believe it initially. But when I was surprised, seriously, it's just they've got a rotten record in playoffs, rotten record. And Europe has, of course, you know.
You think about it, right? If you think about it, you were in the middle of your working career. Southside he was trotting the globe, but young man, and I was still at school. You know what I mean?
I was still at school. Aye, right.
You know.
It was one of these approved schools.
22 years ago. Well, some stats outside, didn't it?
Aye, yep. Certainly is. For the always cheated, never defeated mobber.
Aye.
Listen, it's all about us, isn't it? We've got to. We're at home. Aye, it's like we got it wrong the last time up there at the crime scene. We were the first half. We gave them too much space in the middle of the park. We were standing there, and for that bit we were in the ground, and you could see it. They had a free man in the middle of the park the whole first half, and we had Jack Butland to thank after the first half. So hopefully he'll address that this time. And we'll not be giving them the freedom of the extra man in the middle of the park. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes about it. But second half we rectified it, and we certainly done the business. And you look at the state of the wee fat piggy they've got in goal, you know, there's no much there. There's no much there to beat. There's no much there to beat. So he does rain shots in on him.
Just doing the one side, mate.
Aye. Any side, mate. Doesn't really matter, does it? They'll be fearful. I've seen one or two and had a brief conversation, and they're not looking forward to it at all.
What have I told you? What have I told you?
Listen, I'm not ignorant. If they come out and say something, I usually answer it, you know. So, but it's in my line of work. Sometimes I've got to put up with it. You know what I mean? But you've got to take everybody's money, mate. You know, as you know. But aye, they're a bit fearful for Sunday. I can tell. So we've just got to make sure that the real Rangers turn up on Sunday. And like I say, we go for them for the first whistle. If we can get an early goal, all the better. Ibrox will be rocking, and then we just need to go and make sure we get another one. They'll have spells in the game. Listen, we can't dominate the whole game for 90 minutes. They'll have spells probably in the game. But we've got to make sure that come Sunday, there's only one winner, and the winner is everybody in a blue jersey and that whole support that's going to be cheering the team for the stands. Go home happy, mate.
Yeah. Bridgeman.
Yeah, for Sunday, I think with the way the South Side speaks about it, it makes it sound, shall we say, quite simple. Get out and attack and get up there and do it. And I'm not saying it is easy. Of course, it's not easy. But I like the way he talks about it in that sense. That's the way I feel. I feel we shouldn't be sitting back on our heels. We should be onward tops and get down there. Top of your foot. Get in there, go down there all the way. Press, and see how long they last. Because that's the only way you can get to know who you're playing. We cannot afford to be playing in our half. We cannot afford to be letting Celtic play in our half. That's got to stop. Or any other team for that matter. We need to be able to challenge for the ball, legally of course, challenge for the ball, win it and move up and keep up there and just stay there. Don't wander away up the park and never be able to do anything other than lose the ball, and then we're in trouble. Let's get it right. And remember where you are. You're at Ibrox. This is a team that's coming to visit. and we're going to beat them. That's the way we need to look at it. And we must press, 100% of the game, all the way. A bit of tempo in your game, and a lot of tempo sometimes. Don't lie down to them. Don't lie down.
Aye. Well, it's one of the games. It's any victory, Southside. Any victory.
Aye, well, I take a bridge, man. You know, but you don't care, but you'd like to do them a bit of damage, and absolutely batter them, because they are a poor team, and we aren't a great team. Let's be honest, I've said it, but we can still win this league with this squad. They've showed inconsistencies, but at home, there's only 2 teams beat us in the league this year. There's only 1 team beat us twice this year, Hearts, and they're sitting at the top of the table, and we've got to hunt them down. But listen, it's our team, it's our time, and it's our city, mate, and that's what matters. And we need to make it matter on Sunday. That the blue half of Glasgow will be celebrating, and there's no reason why we can't. We've got a good form at Ibrox. We've been scoring goals. We're creating a lot more chances. So, listen, they're there to be got at. You can't predict these games, as we keep saying. We've said it a million times. You can't. There's times when we've been in there early years when you're expecting to batter them and you've come away no, and vice versa. But we need to make sure on Sunday that we come out on top. We're at home. We're the expectations on us, and if we can get rid of them out this league and out this cup, there will only be a 2-team league chasing. And then you'll probably find Murrow might even slip into 3rd place and stick them down to 4th, which would even be more comical. So, but we need to make sure that we do the damage on Sunday and we can take care of the away games when they come up, and hopefully we'll change our fortune and we can look at a league table. It might be slightly different. So I don't believe Hearts are going to win all their games to the end of the season. I expect they've got a couple of tricky fixtures coming up and they might drop something. And they'll be lucky against Falkirk. I know they scraped by 1-0, so pressure goes on to them or not to keep winning. So, listen, it's there to be won, mate, and hopefully we've slipped up enough, but hopefully we've got enough still left in the tank to get this job done.
All right, last word for your good self, Southside, before Bridge closes the show.
Thanks for having us on, mate, as always. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Always good to be on with a legend, the Bridge man, and your good self. Just say thanks to everybody out there on the YouTube feed that listening to the show. Thank them for listening in the night as always, and everybody else out there that's listened in. I hope you've enjoyed it. Been good to get some callers in, obviously, and been good for that. But it gives us a chance to chat about the team we all love, mate.
And that's a true story about the boxing, by the way.
Aye. And as I can say is, Manny Fernandez will be a legend in time. But I wish I could tell a story, but I can't. So on that note, mate, I'll not be on the rest of the week, as you know, but I look forward to Sunday. I look forward to listening to the show during the week and keep the positivity up. Listen, there's only 1 team and 1 crown, mate, and it's a team we all love and support. So let's get behind them and roll them with victory on Sunday. Looking forward to it, and hopefully Ibrox will be loud and proud, mate. So thanks for having us on.
I don't think you'll manage to get Manny Fernandez in that tattoo, mate. Just saying.
Got a long arm, don't you worry about it.
I love it.
Right, last word, Bridgeman.
Oh, sir, well, that marvellous night tonight. Really, and tremendously jovial. Really good. And a big thanks to yourself and of course Southside for carrying me through it. I really loved it. I really enjoyed myself tonight. And the techie boys in the back, a big shout out to them. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world, massive game coming up at the weekend. Biggest game of the season is going to hit us. And we've got to be there, loud and proud. Every single one is. Keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us. Keep it going.
Yeah. Thanks to Southside and Bridge for doing the show, Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. And Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking of all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.